Day 39 of Journey Through the Bible. I want to talk about the various offerings that are listed in the Pentateuch. It is another one of those very interesting studies, something like the tabernacle. It's one of those things that you could spend a lot of time thinking about, meditating over, and a lot of other Christians have done that. We obviously will just touch on it today, but they have great significance for us as Christians. In chapter 35 of Exodus, verse 5, we find that heave offering is sometimes called the wave offering. The word that's used here is the Hebrew word tinophah. It refers to the personal treasured possessions being freely given to God. As they built that tabernacle, there was a need for every person to share their own personal possessions if they were going to be able to build it. They needed gold and silver and brass and precious stones, fine linens, leather. All that would be needed to build this abiding place where Yahweh would meet them. Verse 29 describes that beautifully in Exodus 35. The Israelites, all the men and women whose heart moved them to bring material for all the work which the Lord had commanded through Moses to be done, brought a free will offering to the Lord. Every part of that structure that they built had been joyfully built by the gifts of people who gave it because they loved to give. Again, verse 21, everyone whose heart stirred him and everyone whose spirit moved him came and brought the Lord's contribution for the work of the tent of the meeting and for all its service and for the holy garment. Verse 26 of that chapter, all the women whose hearts stirred with a skill spun the goat's hair. Verse 29, the Israelites, all the men and women whose heart moved them to bring material for all the work which the Lord had commanded through Moses to be done, they brought a free will offering to the Lord. You get the spirit of that? Listen, I have known what it is to serve in a church. I serve in one now where I so often have seen God's people give so much and so sacrificially and yet do it with a deep, abiding joy. To the point of exhaustion, to the point of stretching themselves to the very edge of their limits, and yet thankful for the privilege of doing so. That's the spirit of the way the work of the Lord ought to be done. Yes, when we who are part of the church, we give. We know there are bills to be paid. There are sometimes debts to be repaid, other obligations the church has, but we must never let that be the focus. The real focus is, Lord, thank you for what you provided for me, and thank you that I had the joy and the privilege of heaving it unreservedly back to you for your use. You see here in the drawing that the curtains that covered the tabernacle from the ground up were very important. They were layered one upon the other, and the significance is, I think, pretty obvious. The inside layer was made of fine linen, had the figures of cherubim or angels woven into it. The colors were blue, the color of eternity, purple, the color of royalty, scarlet, the color of sacrificial blood of the Lamb. The sections of it were fastened together with gold clasp. Points most naturally to the deity of Christ. Layered on top of that was a covering made out of the goat's hair. It was fastened with brass clasp. It would be unseen, but it would, I think, beautifully picture the humanity of Christ. The third layer was made of ram skins dyed red. It depicts Christ as our substitute. And then the fourth layer that was exposed to the elements is said to be made of the skins of the porpoise. Those skins were gray, their natural color. You might want to check out Isaiah chapter 53, verses 2 and 3, to get perhaps the significance of that. Well, there's a lot more information for you to read about these offerings in a variety of ways, but let me read to you again from Exodus chapter 40, verse 34. Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Moses was not able to enter the tent of meeting because the cloud had settled on it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Throughout all their journeys, whenever the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the sons of Israel would set out. But the cloud was not taken up, they did not set out until the day when it was taken up. For throughout all their journeys, the cloud of the Lord was on the tabernacle by day, and there was fire in it by night, in the sight of all the house of Israel.